let's get into it. It's crime o'clock, yeah, feel that sound. Typically unique when the truth comes out. Tick-tock, won't stop, let the facts talk. Pull up real close, yeah, it's crime o'clock. Clock, clock, yeah. Typically new, neon signs glow, brick wall behind me. Headlines loud, but they never define me. They rush the story, skip the proof. I slow it down, let it show the truth. Files on deck, read every line. Timestamps matter, so does time. If it don't fit, I don't force the frame. Ask one question, whole story change. No fear my voice, no need to shout. Paper speaks when you read it out. If the math's off, I'll circle twice. Truth ain't loud, but it ain't nice. Yeah. Read it again. It's crime o'clock, yeah. Feel that sound. Typically unique when the truth comes out. Tick tock, won't stop. Let the facts talk. Pull up real close, yeah. It's crime o'clock. It's crime o'clock. Read it again. They sell a narrative if I sell receipts. Courtroom quiet, but the pages speak. Word for word, no added spin. Let it stand, yeah. Let that sink in. Screenshot save, timeline's tight. Missing pieces keep me up at night. If they say elected, I say why. If they say case closed, I say try. No rush here, we do it right. Truth don't bend for the likes of hype. If you came for noise, you're in the wrong spot. This is evidence, this is crime o'clock. Clock, clock, clock. Stay with me. This isn't background noise. This is pattern recognition. This is documents. This is crime o'clock. It's crime o'clock, yeah. Feel that sound. Typically unique when the truth comes out. Tick tock, won't stop. Let the facts talk. Say it with me now. Crime o'clock. It's crime o'clock. Typically unique. It's crime o'clock. Yeah. If you're here, you're early. If you're listening, you're paying attention. Show starts now.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Crime O'Clock on Typically Unique. And I had to move my setup, so I cannot check my sound. Can you guys hear me? I feel like my microphone is not working. If it sounds like I'm talking through my computer, I need to fix it. It should be going through my microphone. I should have a crisp, clear... Yes. Oh, good. Because I cannot hear myself. Thank you, you guys. Oh, my goodness. Last night was crazy with Brent Turvey, and I thought I would start off with a quote that I used to tell my students all the time when we were talking about behavior. And I would say, do the right thing when no one's watching. Wouldn't that be nice? Could everybody just do the right thing even when nobody's watching you? No one needs to check on you. The world would be a better place. I also started a Q&A. I hope it's showing up. Let me check. Let me know. Lucy, you don't think we should all do the right thing when no one's watching? Oh my God. Try telling that to like 11-year-olds. Yeah, so I don't see my question popping up here. Do you guys see a poll question? Not a poll, a Q&A. Let me see if I sent it. So I said, what do you guys think is going on? Wait, hover your mouse over any question, then click, pin. Wait a minute. What do you think's going on with Ann Taylor? That's my question. Oh, there it is. I don't know. It's there. I wanted to see your thoughts. I'm not sure I even know what's going on with Ann Taylor. No clue. Yeah, it's very weird. I went back this morning and I pulled some things that old documents, old reports. I want to look at the photos, things that match up with what Brent Turvey shared with us last night. It is called integrity. That's exactly what integrity is. Hi. How am I going to say your name? Oh, Miller Time. Miller Time. Hello. Hi, Kathy's Indie Zone. How you doing? Breakfast is here. God watches, so does Santa Claus. Hi, William Tardy. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Whoever put that Brent Turvey was the alpha in the chat was hilarious last night. Carlos and I were watching it together on the TV. And Carlos said he wants to hear from Talbot. Who all wants to hear from Talbot? He should explain what happened with the knife sheath. What happened? Oh, Crime and Chaos. Hello. Hi, RJ Embry. Jessie Lynn. Yeah, I'll get back to Ann in a minute. G Bean. Manda Panda. Hello. Brian was an undercover. I'm telling you, I don't know what's up with Brian. I'm gonna from now on take that powerful statement. I thought Brent Turvey had many powerful statements last night in that interview, and we are gonna look at some clips. I'm not gonna go through the whole entire thing, but when he was talking about let me find that comment again because I got squirreled. Let me see. Brian, talking about Brian. And Brent Turvey said, he doesn't have beliefs. He just uses facts. And I thought it's so easy to fall into that. Well, I think this, I believe this, because we don't have all the information. And he knows that. He did say that. And it's hard in this case when we just follow what's been released to us, just the facts. We come to dead ends because you either go to a dead end or you have to start speculating or trying to think of things that would make sense. I do think that some of the statements Brent Turvey shared with us matched a lot of our speculation along the way. And I thought, we are not credentialed experts, but we were thinking the same thing as someone who is. So you guys are pretty smart. We're pretty smart, I think. But with Brian, I don't know about the undercover. I mean, there's something, but sticking with the facts, like what's a fact we know about Brian is that he applied for that assistantship. And so I would like to know the facts and see the documents, see the evidence of his denial letter of not getting accepted into that program, or did he get placed in that program? Because at first it was not released to us that they hired 2 people for that. All we ever heard about was one. We only heard about one person. So you think Brent Turvey speculated? Well, yeah, that's probably a gray area because he does have to. How does he have to do it? He has to pose. He looks at the evidence and then pose his expert opinion, right? He is giving an expert opinion. That's what he's hired for. So I think you're not wrong by saying that. Yeah. Hey, Stoner Podcast Media. Hello. Lisa Marie. Song of the Siren, Jenna. Yeah, I've always felt like Brian got into that program and was fishing around in the data and found something nefarious. Pullman and Pasco hired females that applied. Brian did not. Well, where can I see that evidence, Lucy? I want the evidence. And you're saying it like that, so I'm sure you've seen it. I'm posing that. I'm not planning. I want to do an episode on that. I have some resources pulled up. The only thing I could find, of course you do, Lucy. Of course you do. Because I found, I don't think it was the Idaho Statesman. It was a Washington Pullman news agency that did an article, and they said that they had FOIA requested the application returns and all that stuff about Brian. But I thought they said that they did not receive anything about Brian. That was interesting. Okay, so also to start this off, besides my quote, we're going to hear from somebody who, because I think one of the other big questions in this case is, why did Brian take the plea deal? And then last night, the big question became, why did Ann Taylor enter into that process? She did not have to enter into the plea process. She could have said, no, I want to swear right now, but I won't. Go bleep yourself. We have a strong defense. We have a strong defense. We are not taking a plea deal. We're going to trial. She did get denied for the continuance. I don't know. But I wanted to start off with playing somebody who did, they pled guilty. It wasn't a plea deal. I don't think they were forced into pleading guilty, but later found innocent. So similar. Where'd my thing go? I have a million tabs pulled up, you guys. I want that. This, and a lot of you I know are familiar with it. I've listened to this a million times. I don't think it ever gets old. This is Chris Ochoa, just him explaining his false confession. He gave a false confession, you guys.
My name is Christopher Ochoa. I think the police, while they were interrogating me, they knew what they were doing. They knew I didn't have a record. As one of my attorneys that worked on my exoneration and getting me released, said, they sized me up pretty quick. They knew who they had, and they knew just what buttons to push. There was threats of the death penalty, and if I didn't sign a statement or a confession, I would be executed. At one point, one of them grabbed my arm and tapped my arm, the vein. Said, "This is where the needle's going to go if you don't cooperate with us." At some point, he brought in pictures of a cell on death row, or so he said. It was a cell on death row. So if you don't cooperate with us, this is where you're going to live the rest of your life until you die. You won't ever get to hold anybody again. You won't get to hug your parents or whatnot. At one point, I asked for an attorney, and they said I couldn't have one until I was officially charged. Which the questions kept on coming, which I find out later shouldn't have kept on coming. And at one point, at the final stage, on the final stage when I just broke down, I was tired, I was hungry, I was like, just wanted to go home. One of the officers yelled at me and said, "You know what? I'm getting tired of BS. I'm gonna lock you up and throw you in a jail cell. You're young. You've never been in jail. You'll be fresh meat for the prisoners." And I took that to mean jailhouse rape, and that really shook me up. And in addition to being tired, I just said, "Okay, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? What I do?" I mean, I guess what people are trying to find out is, but still, you could have asked. You could have not said anything yet. Well, as I said, I was denied the right to attorney. They wouldn't let me go, even though you're taught in school what your rights are and all this as Americans. At that time, everything goes out the window. You just don't know what's going on. Your mind is scrambled because this is not a normal situation. I think sometimes people don't care too much about false confessions, but I think that's the wrong attitude to take because if it happened to me, a guy that had never been in trouble, it could happen to anybody. I mean, it can happen to you. It's, I mean, it can happen to you. I'd never been in trouble. I was minding my own business. All of a sudden, I'm picked up, and it has happened to normal people, everyday people. Everyday people are exonerated that were law-abiding citizens, and they were coerced into signing false confessions. That's why people should care. It could happen to their sons, their daughters, their nephews. It could happen to them.
And I think it's not that bad of a situation, but I think that's why Brent Turvey won't speak to he won't speak to the investigation team. He was like, I don't trust them, basically. He didn't say those words, but you could read between the line, right? Christopher Ochoa, man, that story is tragic. If you want to hear the whole story, I covered it back, I think in December. His name's on the thumbnail. If you want to go find that later. Yeah, he did have a co-defendant, or there was his friend was also taken in, and his friend got hurt while they were in prison severely, and they did get released, but it was kind of too late for his friend. He lived only for a little while once they were out. And even Christopher Ochoa had like a tragic death. So in the end, they were both innocent, both factually innocent, exonerated. Love and Other Habits. Hello, hello. Who's alone with their... Let's see. You guys are disagreeing? You might agree with Carlos. Let me see. What are you guys saying? What do you think, Christina? I like to see opposite opinions. Yeah, I mean, I think there's a few options. I mean, especially the way Brent Turvey was talking about a drastic change in Anne's personality and behavior at the end. Was it just... I feel like I took it as defeated. I wanted to say, oh, Anne's just defeated because she got nothing in her favor. I think the only thing that Hitler granted was to not call Brian a psychopath. I might be wrong about that, but every motion, every single thing she submitted got denied. And then on the other side of that coin, the prosecution never had to follow the protocols. Like, they missed deadline after deadline with their discovery, and nothing ever happened. So that's the way I took it, that she was just defeated. because again, those were the facts we knew. We always wondered how much of the discovery did she ever get? When exactly did she get the discovery? But now we know she got the full discovery, what, at least a week, 2 weeks? I think he was saying a couple weeks before the plea deal. And that was months before trial, a month before trial. Wasn't trial supposed to start in August? So then I don't think that's the case. I don't think she was just defeated. Is it just the system? Did she just get pressured to save her career? She threatened. I mean, let's look at the facts. Let's look at the facts. It's a fact. We heard it straight from the person's mouth that one of the DNA experts that testified at a hearing had the FBI show up at her house. That's a fact. So it's plausible. Could happen. Kay Schmidt, look at you donating 10 memberships, turning 10 people green. Welcome in, new members. Let's see who got those. Thank you so much. More unique peeps, 10 unique peeps. Manda Panda, Jenny Galvin, Mombi, Shauna, Carol B, America First, FLL, and Ray, I don't want to say that wrong. Ray Johneries. Tell me how to say that. It's probably a first name and a last name put together. I'm not sure. Judy Ann Tworoger. You guys are getting me with these names. Forever Jaded and George Stewart. Welcome in, you guys. Look at those peeps. Luther, thank you. Yeah, we're the peeps, but we also have a Porch Goose Club. Join the Porch Goose Club. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Kay Schmidt. Thank you. Thank you. That's awesome.
I appreciate you. Thank 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 you for the support. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. So Brent Turvey said let me make sure I'm not muted. He said his 3 main points or 3 main concerns were, I believe he said the knife sheath chain of custody, right? And he said the hair and the cleanup, I believe, were the 3 big factors in the case. And so I wanted to look at those, focus on those 3 points from what he said last night. And I have some different resources to go with that. I'm trying to do something while I'm talking. Oh, I wanted to pull up their video. So I'm going to pull up this interview from last night. Custody Queens off the clock, you guys. They did amazing. They had excellent questions. They got him to talk, like let him talk. I thought they got a lot of good information out of him. There's one question though, I think I'm going to maybe email them to see, because they did say they were going to try to schedule him for another interview. He said when more comes out, more is coming out, you guys. He said as more evidence comes out, okay, it's got to be the cell data. It's got to be the cell data. The whole time he was talking, I was like, he said so many statements about like the whole expert team, other experts, and Cy Ray is included in that, right? So I just kept thinking like, oh, when he would say something like that, I'm like, what's Cy Ray thinking? Or what's he doing? Especially because Carlos and I did an episode on Cy Ray's book that's supposed to be coming out. And his quote in there was that he went into this thinking Brian was guilty. And then he said, after seeing the evidence, it confirmed that. My suspicion, we're not supposed to do this, but I'm going to anyways. We can't help it. Carlos and I talked about that being a hook, like to get people interested, like, or like, you know, it's not a double entendre, but like has like a different meaning, you know? And I kind of think like Brent Turvey said last night that, how did he say it? Brian's, oh my God, what was the quote? Factually innocent, but legally guilty only because he took the plea deal, but factually innocent. So does Cy Ray's quote kind of like go with that? Like legally guilty, but maybe he's going to get into the book with all the facts and like take it a different way. That's what I'm speculating. We'll see. But I sidetracked onto that because Brent Turvey mentioned, like, he said all the experts like felt the same way. They were all shocked. He also said that all their evidence like aligned. Like Brent Turvey didn't make it. He said it's not like he's over here as this lone wolf, right? I got to quit moving my arms around because I got a virtual background behind me. Every day on Twice on Sunday, Lucy, Twice on Sunday. He's going to double reverse Uno. That's the best way to say it. That's right. That's right. You want to know what was found in his apartment? Are you talking about Ethan's apartment? Or are you talking about whose apartment? Yeah, the custody queens did awesome. Oh, thank you. AI made that for me. I appreciate that. Oh, wait, is this the Idaho case? What else would we be talking about? Okay, I've got some clips we're going to watch. Okay, so let's see. About 26 minutes in. Right about, I can never get right where I want. Right about there. Whoops. I got to share the screen. And then we're going to share this one. Here we go. This is where he's going to get into the knife sheath and the chain of custody.
Any privilege with you because I don't know what the truth is, because I have not been told the truth yet that I can tell. I've been given 3 different versions of events relating specifically to your question. When did the deal start? When did they start? How did they get Brian to agree to it? And the involvement of Hitler. And I'm not a legal expert. I know what my role is, and I won't know what my onus is to. I know that my first onus is to being first we start with, you have to do your due diligence in every case, because that's what satisfies due process, and due process is a requirement of the Constitution. If you don't follow that logic, you have no business being an expert or being involved in the criminal justice system. Due diligence equals due process equals constitutionality. Okay. I don't know. That's the extent of my sort of my grasp of my situation or my role. And I don't know what the legal realities are around Dan Taylor taking this case. I don't know what the legal realities are of whether or not Hitler was involved and how he was involved, the judge or the prosecutor. And I suspect that it was done in such a way that was problematic, which is why I'm getting 3 different versions.
Okay. We all know to pay attention when he says problematic, right? He's using a very good word there, a very safe word there, problematic. Okay. I also think he keeps saying, I think sometimes he says Hitler when he really means Thompson. What do you guys think about that? Because he said Hitler and then he said the judge. So either way, he's Like, I don't know what happened, but looks like something, right? And it's problematic. It's problematic. Now, I've done 3 or 4 previous lives where I covered other cases than the Idaho 4, but I connected them to the Idaho 4 with different issues in the cases, and specifically innocent people who took a plea deal or pled guilty when they were not. And a lot of them were back like probably last November, December, January when I did those, because I learned by reading about plea deals that it happens a lot. And Brent Turvey said last night, a third of cases. It's crazy. I read this one article one time on one of my shows where a previous prosecutor used to do plea deals all the time, and he changed his tune about it because he realized it, that system doing that, it's part of the system. It's a norm. It's the way they do business. And because he had previously participated in that, he was able to clearly explain how they do it and why they do it. And it's just the way it goes. And I know when we come across a case that we're like Brian, like, why on earth would they do that? I don't question that. And it causes many discussions with me and Carlos because Carlos will say, well, he took a plea deal. And I'm like, yeah, like a million people take plea deals when they're innocent. So it's so frustrating that the system it shouldn't work that way. It's a shame. It's a shame. So, all right. So that's what he's talking about.
All right, that's the problem. So I'm not disclosing anything because I got nothing to disclose. I just don't know what the truth is. I'm as stunned, shocked, and
I don't know what
appalled
the truth is.
as the rest of you, which is why I was happy to discuss the publicly disclosed elements of this case as they relate to chain of custody for the sheath and as they relate to the untested DNA evidence from the hair found in Ethan's hand. All this was obscured in different ways. And so bringing that to light is actually not a violation, it's a responsibility. And if you don't think that's your responsibility, please, God, stay out of this profession.
We need more people like this. Like, hopefully and there are people like this, but he's standing up against these, like the way the system is working with these plea deals. Like, he made excellent points about that. It's his job to tell the truth. And I love that he said he's not going to take the easy way out. Like, and I hope no one else is. I'm confused about Riley or Bicca Barlow, because isn't she an expert and on the team, the defense team? Like, she's a lawyer and an expert, or no? Did they also have someone else? But as an expert, to know the evidence doesn't support the person they're defending staying silent about it. It's like we say that all the time. Staying silent is like, makes you, what's the word I'm looking for? Complicit, I guess. Same type of thing. Well, okay, there is that. So let's say, so there's no evidence against Brian, but he knows he's innocent and he still takes a plea deal. And that's part of what they do is they overcharge. In this case, it's a quadruple homicide, so you really can't overcharge him. I mean, the death penalty probably is the, not minimum sentence, but standard, right? Standard sentence. So in other types of cases, they will overcharge. I don't think you can do that in this case, but threaten. You heard Christopher Ochoa say they pointed at his vein and said, this is where the injection's going to go. And they stress you out. They wear you down. They mentally drain you. I mean, look what they did to Richard Allen, right? Like that's what they do. So we don't know what they're doing to Brian. I don't think we saw physical evidence of that when we would see him at hearings. I mean, we could physically see the deterioration of Richard Allen. I didn't see that with Brian, but they scare you into it. There's rumors, right, that they toured the death row jail cells. I think Brent Turvey said last night that it was supposedly the defense team that just went, but who knows? Who knows if Brian went with them? I don't know. But if he knew he was slaughtered in the public opinion, which he was, like that's, why the Dateline leak is being investigated and all of that. I'm going to get found guilty anyways and get the death penalty. So I'm going to take a plea deal and not have the death penalty. I think a lot of people will say, oh, I would take my chances and go to trial. I think if you're in your right mind, that makes logical sense, because if you're found guilty and you go to death row, you still have your appeals. Like you can do 1 million appeals. Taking the plea deal took all that away. So I understand people who argue that, but the state made sure the jury would convict him. Oh, yes, they did. They sure did. Italian girl. Man, well, what's upsetting is that the families have no concern about who really did this. They're just believing the prosecution, right? I'm kind of getting upset at Brian's family. I want to reach out to his sister, that sister that did the article. Was that Amanda? Like, I want to call her up and be like, hey, like, I don't want to bug you, but can we just talk for a minute? Right? What are they thinking? What's Brian's family thinking? And at this point, after hearing Brent Turvey, I'm like, I don't want to hear that money is an option. Like they should be out. They could get funding for a good defense attorney, in my opinion, I think. Let me know what you guys think. It's so easy for people who are not sitting in court facing the death penalty to say they would take their chances. I know. Oh, Jules said that his family knows. And does she think that they're going to do something? I didn't watch. I purposely did not watch anybody's reaction to this interview because I didn't want to I'll get other people's thoughts in my head, and I don't want to like be a parrot for like I was dying because I wanted to watch Lana so bad this morning. That's my girl. But I didn't want that influence. I did watch Dago last night. Dago was on with Devil's Advocates, and I did watch them. That was a good one. Oh, Jules is going to say more later. Well, that's promising. I am glad to hear that. Because that's one of the things that's kind of like in the back of my mind. Like if Brian's not saying anything, like we're all going crazy, but Brian's not saying anything. His family's not saying anything. Those are the two people that need to, like they have to. You think they also wanted to spare the family of the gruesome details that would come with the trial? True. Jules said there's a creator that we all know that's been in contact with the Cobras. Okay. I wonder who that is. Oh, hey, speaking of my partner in crime, here he is. Hello, Dago. Are you muted? I can't hear you. Uh-oh. Is it my sound? Okay, chat. Can you guys hear Dago? Oh, no. You know, I got a different setup, so I'm hoping it's not my audio. I can't hear you. Anyways, he can work on that. And I'm going to go to, oh, I said the chain of custody. That was the plea deal clip that we just listened to. Let's go to the chain of custody because I've got some things that we need to talk about with that. Right about almost perfect, right there.
I mean, well, I just want to hear from you, Dr. Turvey. How did what happened? Pointed at Brian about.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's quite a few problems. And the first one is its placement. It is very clearly underneath one of the victim's thighs, sticking out, covered by a comforter, and very evident when you look at it in the photographs. It's hard to miss. But the problem is the knife sheath itself is clean, for lack of a better word. It's not been used. So that's the first thing. There's no usage. It's not like somebody wore it on their belt and not like somebody scratched it or pulled things in and out, or pulled a knife in and out of it. It's pristine, other than a couple little areas of flecks of blood. So that's the first problem. One, its placement, the location. You can't drop it and find it in that spot. And you can't, there's no evidence of usage of the sheath, and there's no evidence of any massive bloody transfer, which would be expected. If somebody slid that under there, that person would have the bloody hands, we assume, and we infer that it would have bloody hands, and there would be blood on it. There's no blood like that on it. No transfer from hands, and only a little bit of spatter. But it's on top of a sheet that is covered with a star field of blood spatter, okay? And that blood spatter is not, how do I put it? And this is, again, it's not secret. This has all been revealed. This has all been revealed over and over again. It's just a question of putting it together. The sheath itself has no transfer from that blood on the sheet to the top of the sheath as it slid into that position. And none of those transfers are smeared, which means it happened after the blood dried. That's the first set of problems we got. The second thing is it was originally observed to be on the floor by Taylor at the crime scene. All right.
Much later, Talbot.
And then finally, of course, after I'd written my report, we had done a very good job was done of going through some chain of custodies, and I was given this chain of custody. Said, Turvey, what do you think? Because we think it's a problem, but maybe you have a different opinion because you're a forensic scientist and we're not. What do you think? And I'm like, this chain of custody's been falsified. People go to jail.
That's a huge allegation. And if you listen to him through this whole interview, he's very careful with his words, right? He'll say that's problematic. I can't talk about that because it's not been released, or I will talk about that after it's released. I feel like he knows. He's been doing this long enough. He thinks he knows. I mean, he knows what he can say and what he can't say. And he just said, what were the words he just said? How did he say that? Let me back it up a second. Oh my God. That was like, what?
Spatter is not, how do I put it? Over again. It's just a question of putting it together. The sheet itself has no transfer from that blood on the sheet to the top of the sheath as it slid into that position. And none of those transfers are smeared, which means it happened after the blood dried. That's the first set of problems we got. The second thing is, it was originally observed to be on the floor by Taylor at the crime scene. All
Love
right?
it.
Much later on. And then finally, of course, after I'd written my report, we had done a very good job was done of going through some chain of custodies, and I was given this chain of custody and said, Turvey, what do you think? Because we think it's a problem, but maybe you have a different opinion because you're a forensic scientist and we're not. What do you think? And I'm like, this chain of custody has been falsified. People go to jail for that. They get put on leave, investigated, fired, and then criminally investigated and go to jail for that.
Falsified. I've been looking up information about. Let me see. Dago's back. Let me see. Maybe. Are you back? Are you there? Hello? No? Do I need to kick you out? Where's Dago, you guys? Let me see if he messaged me. Oh, there he is. Is it working? Oh, wait. Unmute. Why is it? When I look at there, it just unmuted. I can't hear you. Do you have it selected? Apparently you can hear me. That's all right. Keep working on it. Chain of custody. All right, you guys, let's look at these photos. I don't think I pulled. Did I pull them up yet? No. Okay. I got photos of the evidence bag and the chain of custody thing. The thing that cracked me up, you guys, there's a couple super popular content creators. They're both on YouTube now. They both started on TikTok, I believe. They are heavy guilters. And one of them completely roasted Brent Turvey, saying that he wasn't even an expert, like saying he really didn't have degrees, like really, really slammed him hard. And then said he didn't know what he was talking about with the chain of custody and that the barcodes are real. Like, that's what they do. And what he said about the barcodes last night had me cracking up. Because those people, like, they talk with such conviction. Carlos and I say all the time, just because you say it with conviction doesn't mean it's true, right? Just because you say it with conviction doesn't mean it's true. But they do. They act like they're the only ones that know anything. And they said, oh, yeah, the barcodes. And then Brent Turvey said last night that the barcodes are only for keeping track of the items at the evidence locker. Oh, my God. Hello, Jethro Tall. Hello. Hey, Tara. Hi, Mary Holt. Hello to everyone if I missed you. 1K and Leanne. Hi, Sweet Pea. Hi, Glenn. Welcome in, everybody. Please take a moment to hit that like button. All right, here is the evidence bag for the knife sheath. I have so many tabs open. I apologize. I'm trying to find. Oh, it's here. Here it is. Okay. Can I make it bigger? There we go. All right. So one good thing about this evidence bag is they said the seal was not broken, which I thought we had heard in the past that maybe it was. But I'm pretty sure they said the seal was not broken. So you can see there's 2 stickers on here, right? I can't, this is not clear enough for me to see, but the barcode is at the bottom. So, seal's not broken, but the evidence sticker that they put on it should be signed and filled out every time a new person takes possession of the bag of this piece of evidence. And when you have the same handwriting with the same pen, filling out a form that should be documented over many days by many different people, that's not the correct procedure. Now, the issue with chain of custody is most, I think, defense attorneys, they don't even bother with it, which is weird to me because that's like a technical thing. You can fight in court to throw out evidence. So I read a lot of things that said defense attorneys, they'll just sign off on it. Like, yep, good. It's good. The chain of custody is good, without really looking at it or looking into it. But then I guess they say they do that because if they have questions about it, they can fight it in court. So kind of a balance there with that. Didn't they seal it in the lab? It's in the emails. Oh, you mean they shipped it around to get to the lab without being sealed? I did not see that. I did not see that. That's crazy. Reading your comments. Why are we talking about Tom Hanks? Sweet Pea is saying you have to be considering we're all talking about how Brian is not guilty because the evidence doesn't point to him. And yet here you are. Oh, talking to somebody. Oh, you can either ignore the troll or kick them out, whatever. I got mods in here, right? Is it just Christina? Oh, and Ro. Okay, that's the bag. I have more. Let's look at. Oh, that's just a better close-up of the. So you can see the handwriting. So you also have to make sure you document this item is leaving person A and I'm handing it to person B on this day. So now person B is now responsible for it. So if anything happens to that item, they're responsible for it. All right, here's the other item in question. Is that okay? So this is, I believe this was from the forensic documents, right? And Talbot he wrote a description of the evidence items. Okay. So he was filling this out. This is like his handwritten notes, I believe. And so he wrote item number 2 was a laptop, pink. And then he put east, 3rd floor, bedroom. Okay. Item 3, cell phone, black iPhone, clear case. And then he put hashtag because it was also found on the east 3rd floor bedroom. I would think location, I might want to be more specific, like on the bed, on the end table. I don't know. That's just me, but the box isn't very big either. I don't think this is the correct type of form to be writing. You need to write more. Also, He has very neat handwriting for I don't know. I'm just looking at his handwriting here. It's interesting to me. Item 14. The knife. Sheath. I think he misspelled sheath. He crossed it out. Oh, he put K-bar sheath. Okay. On floor next to victim number 3. On floor next victim 3. So Carlos and I have already discussed this and debated this because before we looked at it, the argument is, did he mean bedroom? Did he mean floor number 3 or victim number 3? But clearly the way he wrote this, on floor next. If he would have put on floor 3, that's different. On floor next victim number 3. Item 15 is victim number 3, female, blood, east bedroom, floor 3, east bedroom. I'm going to skip down. We'll see how he wrote this. Item number 19, cell phone, blue iPhone, pink case, bed under victim number 3. So he is being more specific here with this one, with a couple of them, right? So the sheath on the floor next to, so it wasn't on the floor next to Kaylee, it was on the floor next to Maddie. Clearly here he put on the bed. The cell phone was on the bed. Uh-oh, did I just hear Dago? Nope. What's going on? Do you have it selected on your computer? I keep hearing like it sounds like this. It goes shh. And that's all I hear. Yep, I just heard it again. Do you have a loose wire? I feel bad. Use sign language. Oh my goodness. Hi, Leah. That's okay. I just checked in with Dago because I heard a noise. I heard a noise there. All right. So let me know in the chat. Do we all agree? Do you guys agree that he actually meant on the floor when he wrote this? Anybody disagree that anybody giving Talbot an out that he did not mean the floor? Let me know in the chat. Do you think he meant it's on the floor? Hey, Paco Jewel. I mean, you can't make a mistake like that So here's why I don't think it's a typo. This is why I don't think it's a typo, because he wrote on floor. I hear you better.
Hello?
I hear you, but you're echoing.
Hang on. Holy shit. Good God, this has been a nightmare all day.
You got it. You got it.
Hold on, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Good Lord. Okay.
Oh, Joel said bye-bye, Pain.
1 minute.
But you know what, Paco? Pain already, he already pieced out. He works for the university now. Good question, One Can, Leanne. Who placed it on the bed? Uh-oh. Is Skull in here? We need, instead of who let the dogs out, we need who placed the sheath on the bed.
Okay. Can you still hear me?
I hear you, but yeah, you
Alright.
sound you sound like you sound like a duck.
All right, how about now?
Now you're normal.
All right. I just have to finish the Are we good?
Are you doing that on purpose?
Doing what? What am I doing?
I'm not going to tell you. I'm just going to let you sound like that.
Hold on. Something's not right.
You guys.
Let me see.
I'm going to let
Now I can hear
Dago
myself.
just sound like that.
All right. Oh shit! What is that? Hold on. Hello.
Hi, Logan.
Hello. There we go. Okay.
That was funny.
Good God. What a mess.
I thought it would have been funny if I just would have let you just talk like that the whole show.
You people would have ran.
I wouldn't have been able to keep a straight face though.
All
Yes,
right.
you guys, I do need to laugh. Like laughter is good for the soul. Like I love to be able to be in here and laugh with you guys, even though we're talking about a serious topic for sure.
Yep. And I'm back to normal. Thank God.
Good. Yes, Wendy, chipmunk. Skull, did you hear me say we need who let the dogs out, but instead we need who moved the sheath? Who picked the sheath up?
Great question.
Like that.
Okay. Does everything sound good?
Yep, we're all good. So I was
Where's
looking at this form and the way Talbot wrote it, and someone said I was going to pull up his report. I don't have it ready to go though.
What's up, Logan?
Whoever wrote that about Talbot's report, can you tell me do you know what number it is? He said it was found on the floor next to victim 3 on level 2. That's weird. That's not even right. That would be level 3. Huh. Interesting. I know. I see Logan's in the house.
I'll be right back, Kim.
Yep. Okay, guys. So that's the chain of custody. I can pull up the let me look real quick. Because remember, we want to look at the facts. I got the Idaho docs, and I think I can search for Talbot's name. Right there. Wait, do I already have it pulled up? That might take a minute. That's the transcript. Those are photos. Oh, you want to look at the photos? Let's look at the photos. I don't know if it's in this batch though. Is the sheath picture in batch 3 or batch 4, you guys? Where's my thing? Oh, I'm way down here. Something I said, I wrote a comment in Dago's, when Dago was live last night with Lee on Devil's Advocate.
I am here.
Okay. When you guys were talking about, because we were looking at bathroom pictures right here, the floor 3 bathroom. Isn't that where the person was that Molly said kept jumping up and down?
The bathroom window, yeah. Coming in and out of the window, right? Yeah.
Yeah, right there, right? Am I showing the photo?
That bathroom window, she said, is where she saw some girl with dark brown long hair. And every time she'd look at her, she would jump out of the way.
Right. So why did no interviewer ask Dylan or Bethany who was that person?
Great question.
Dylan, who else was in the house with dark hair that was on the 3rd floor that would have been, oh, I don't know. Okay, well, we're gonna sit here until you remember.
Yeah, they needed to interrogate like they did on the Caden Young body cam.
Absolutely. I'm like, I would have put Molly, Dylan, and Bethany in a room together and be like, figure out like who this person, like who is this
Absolutely.
person?
You don't get to go back in the water, Mr. Limpet, till you answer my question. Period.
Oh my God. Yes.
Period.
It was long. They said long dark hair. So I don't know. Does Baracoa have
He's
long
got
dark hair?
he's got curly like black hair, I think. Yeah, curly black hair. Short, not super long.
What about Lakeland?
Lakeland McCall. I can't remember what Lakeland looked like. I think she had
I don't know
brownish
what she
colored hair.
looks like.
I think brownish hair.
So I would start with her because we know she was in the house. Don't really know. I don't know if there's facts that show when she left.
Good point.
Yeah, that bothered me. That one bothered me. What else was I looking for?
I agree.
Looking for the sheath. We're gonna look at the sheath.
Sheethy sheath.
Right here. Okay.
You know whose hair does match? Kind of does match the hair that was found in the girl's bed. If you want to go there,
Yeah.
It would match. Not saying that it's his, but it would match the look and style of David Barry's.
I've heard all those names. What's been the theory about those two? That's the guy with the shriveled.
No, that was his buddy David Loach. David Baracoa was the one that was doing the rideshare at 4 a.m. driving around.
Oh, he was the Sobro.
Yeah, he was the other one that was named on the 4chan post. That the two of them went over there and did it together, supposedly.
And what would have been their motive?
Because they hated them. They hated Xana and Ethan. Xana supposedly made the comment about the shriveled thingy, and Ethan and Loach were the ones that fought that night, supposedly.
Okay, well, now we know, according to Turvey, he said it wasn't a K-bar.
Right. Well, he said there's nothing that points to the fact that it could have been a K-bar, as they tried to claim that it. Everything they said, basically, he debunked. So.
And it sounds like for him to talk the way he did about the K-bar, that they must have ruled it out.
I mean,
that's what it sounded like to me.
Yeah, I think Kristen asked him like blatantly and said, you know, did you see anything that made you believe this was a K-bar? And he said, no, not really. So.
Yeah.
And
okay.
Brent Kopacka's hair was about the same length as mine for the person that asked that.
Oh, okay. Since I've got the pictures pulled up here, I just came to the bathroom. So my thing today was focusing on the three main points that Turvey mentioned, and it was the chain of custody. We covered that one, the hair, and then the chain of custody of the sheath, the hair, and the cleanup. So, and part of his facts, his evidence for a cleanup is this bathroom.
Yeah.
First floor bathroom. So
yes.
He said that it didn't match the other two bathrooms. Number one.
That's correct.
What are your thoughts? Do you think that this bathroom was cleaned?
That
they cleaned in it, or
I don't know that it was cleaned because I can't remember who was showing us, but they blew up the bathtub.
Was it Birdie? Why do I think it was Birdie?
I think it was Birdie, and there was dirt on the bottom of the tub. Now, I think what was being pointed out more,
right here,
Chris was pointing. Yeah, there it is. So I think what Chris was pointing out more is there's nothing in that bathroom, like that's on the ground floor. It would have been like Bethany's primary bathroom, and there doesn't seem to be towels, as if maybe they were used for something else, and other things in that bathroom that should be in there is what I think Chris was pointing out when he talked about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, yeah, this bathroom's not cleaned. Like, look at this crud on the molding. Look at the molding
it's
there.
Not super cleaned. It's empty. There's no toilet paper. There's no towels. There's no wash rags. There's no like loofah sponges, things that you would typically think you're going to see in a women's bathroom. You know what I mean?
Right. That bathtub to me looks like a hard stain that won't come off. Like, I don't think it's
Right.
dirt that could just wash off. I think it's like it's permanently there. To me.
It's probably probably like stained within the imprint or the design of the floor of the tub. You know what I'm saying? Like permanently there, like you said. I agree.
Maybe
Yeah, there's no rugs either. Good point.
yes, that's what
And
he
those
said.
racks, Kim, look like they should be holding towels. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yes.
Towels are gone.
No toilet paper.
No toilet paper, no towels, no wash rags, no nothing. It's like everything was cleaned out. Am I too loud or am I too quiet?
You sound good to me.
Somebody said check his volume.
Maybe a titch too loud. Your volume is
Hold on.
it's not too soft.
How about now?
Sounds the same.
How about now?
Same.
I don't want to be
Let's
too
say you're
loud.
good.
Am I good? Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah, you're good. I mean, I don't have headphones in, but yeah, the chat's saying you're good. Chat's saying you're good. Yeah, I don't know. You would think Bethany would want to have a bathroom all to herself down there. So, anyways, that was one of his his reasons for the cleanup. The cleanup. I don't know where I stopped here with his thing. Let me see. What's the time? 59. Yeah, I'm gonna play a little bit more of this clip, so we'll listen to him.
Anytime you have an attorney or a police officer telling you that chain of custody is no big deal, that to me is a red flag that suggests you should look at every one of their cases to see whether or not they've been falsified in chain of custody. Because a lot of agencies put up with it. A lot of agencies will just ignore when a chain of custody has been falsified.
Yeah, and of course, the law enforcement there said there was no problem with the chain of custody. But what I think I've seen as an explanation given was, yes, there's the handwritten chain of custody, which may have been done after the fact or put on there. But there's also these barcodes. Was there an electronically kept chain?
Okay. Yeah, let's laugh about the barcodes, you guys. But this is a good point right here. I was thinking that too, Senor. Maybe they just did not use that bathroom downstairs because it's that's what I was thinking, so isolated. So then
Probably used by everybody.
Right. Maybe that's just like the party bathroom. Like strangers can use it, but we're not using it.
Right.
And he's right, being by the front door. I don't know. Good point. Good point. All right. Now we're going to laugh about the barcodes.
Custody.
That's BS. So ignorant. I can't even respond.
Oh my God, it's so bad. It really, whoever is saying that has no idea what a chain of custody is and what the barcodes are for. The barcodes are for locating the item on the shelf. It has nothing to do with the chain of custody. The chain of custody is about who's handled the evidence, who's opened it and closed it, who's received it, who's transported it, so that you can determine whether or not the evidence has been tampered with or altered inappropriately, and therefore who's responsible. If you go through and have one person just create one for everybody, that's not everybody. It's like the same as signing an affidavit. It's a sworn document saying, I am receiving this. I opened it, I examined it, and there's going to be a report, and then I'm giving it back. And then somebody else comes and checks it out. It's a bit, so the idea of the barcode thing, that's somebody anybody who's talking about the barcodes as being a chain of custody, they are a functional illiterate when it comes to forensic science and evidence custody of evidence.
He does not mince words, does he?
He sure does not.
That is crazy. Crazy. Hey, Kane. Hey, Senor. I don't think I said hello to you. All right. The way he describes finding this hair was crazy to me. like serendipitous almost, you know, like lucky.
That's a good way to put it.
Excuse my,
Wow.
that's literally what I think most of us did. We were all reading it together till late hours of the night, texting each other, going, "There's hair in his fist."
It's not just that there's hair in his hand, okay? Because this is really important to understand the context. I'm glad we're bringing this up. The hair in the hand was described in investigative and forensic reports as debris. There's no debris. Debris indicates like multiple different types of small, sort of maybe commercial material, maybe hair, maybe dust, maybe pieces of paint or carpet, things like that. A bunch of different stuff, debris. Okay. This was just a clump of hair in Ethan's right hand, and the hand slipped down into the space between the mattress and the wall, and the blood went down his arm, and it glued the hair to his hand, and it glued this more hair to the actual bed frame. And I didn't know it was there because it wasn't in the reports and it wasn't being discussed. I actually went to Moscow and examined the evidence. I examined the bed frame myself and all the other evidence in the case.
Can you walk us through that when you went to the locker with, I think Payne escorted you, right?
They were all there. We had everybody was there. We had Payne and another guy, and we had the defense investigator taking pictures, and I took pictures, and this is not some secret. I billed for it. Somebody can want to go look at it. They can see it's in my report that I actually went there.
He's very conscious of that.
Mm-hmm. And I'm sorry, dear. I hate to do this, but I'm scheduled to be live at 3. So, because it took me so long to figure this out, my apologies.
You're good.
I'm gonna have to jump out of here.
Thank you, though.
But thank you for having me here for 5 minutes. I appreciate it very much. I'm so sorry I didn't see your message until way late, and then.
And I know I'm last minute queen over here today.
It's not your fault; it's mine. So,
what are you talking about?
The same thing. So, it no big deal. You're welcome to join as well. You know that. But thank you guys, and thank you, Kim, for having me. And I'm so sorry, like I said, that it took me so long to get this right. But
You're
hopefully,
good.
I'll see you soon, ma'am.
Okay.
All right, guys, take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Why is he so willing to tear down Anne? I think Kane, based on the way I've heard him talk, he just says facts. I think if you really listen to what he's saying, like, he's not saying she's a horrible person. In fact, he did the opposite. Like, I've heard him compliment her. Like, he said she knew this case by the back of her hand. She knew, I don't know what other positive things he said, but he's just sharing the facts of what happened, right? He doesn't understand. I mean, he'll say, like, they will ask him, why did they take the plea deal, or what happened after for the plea deal? And he says, I don't know because I never got an answer, like things like that. Right. It seems like something like that. Yes. Oh, and I wanted to address, I put the comment on the screen, someone saying, when you're in college and you share bathrooms, you do tend to keep your products like to yourself. I did that in the dorms. But once I moved into like an apartment, I don't know, maybe because it was more trust there with my roommates. Same like with like the refrigerator, like you're like, hey, like don't touch my stuff, or yeah, we can share this, or you just, I don't know. I think by that time you would more likely leave your stuff in the bathroom. I don't know. Mandy, how do you say your last name? Gilliland. I don't know if Anne did anything. Well, what she did to Turvey has kept him out of the loop. Like, she just went ahead and did what she wanted to do with her defense of Brian and was not, and that's her choice. She's allowed to do that. I don't think there's nothing illegal about that. There's nothing, it looks weird. Like, you hired these experts. They're giving you their expert opinions about what they're seeing. And Turvey said, we all agree. All of our evidence was showing the same thing, that it wasn't Brian. No evidence for Brian. But then she goes rogue. So that's what looks, what does he say? Problematic. That's what looks problematic. Definitely don't leave your toothbrush in a shared bathroom. Oh my gosh. And hello, itty bitty poof. Crud Dog. Last night, Crud Dog, Carlos and I were watching this interview on the TV, and your comments kept going up on the screen, and I kept yelling, Crud Dog. Oh my goodness. All right. So I think it's interesting. And like I said, it's almost, it's a coincidence, but it's serendipitous that he asked to go in to the evidence locker. What if he never would have went in there? What if Brent Turvey never went in there, never saw the bed frame, never saw the hair? So then he would never think twice about seeing a document that said debris. But what happened was, and I think this is why it's crucial to be a follow the procedures, do your best job you can type of a person, especially when you're in a serious position like this. Like, a man's life was on the line, right? A man's life is on the line, and he went in there. Let me see the evidence. I don't think Sutton went in there. Sutton just looked at photos. So you see the difference? There wasn't a photo of this hair on the bed, because he said they went in there and took the photos. Right? He went in there, and that's when they took the photos. Why weren't there already photos of this bed frame? Because he said the state police were in there taking photos. Why weren't they already there? Why didn't they already have these photos taken? Shouldn't they have done that before they left the house? Like, what went on? Are you guys following me? Does that make sense or not? Like, I'm just saying that the photos of that hair should have already been taken. So he notices it when he goes in there. Then he starts looking for it. Well, where's this evidence? Oh, they called it debris in Ethan's hand. I don't even know if they had any labeled on the bed frame. I'd have to look. It's like everyone was in on the cover up. I know. Apparently not the medical examiner. And I was very worried about the medical examiner. Not because I question her. I don't question her. I question, again, the system, right? Maybe this is like TV shows that are getting in my mind, but I feel like the police officers often go into the autopsies, and I feel like they put pressure on them. Or they could give misinformation, or they could give misinformation that's like prejudiced one way. But Brent Turvey said the medical examiner was going to be like the number one witness for the defense. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. And yes, and that's I'm not even talking about Mabbitt. Mabbitt definitely was controlled. She just followed orders. And what I say that as a fact because she stayed out of the house, right? I'm talking about Veena Singh. She is the Spokane, Washington medical examiner. And I think she represents like the whole state, I believe. Like she's in charge. I looked her up. Yeah, Veena Singh is the medical examiner. And she's the one who would have been testifying. She did the autopsies. And she said, I looked at the wounds and there was a two-sided knife, a two-sided bladed weapon. And Turvey said like a dagger. Like think about that. Ew. And a one-sided edged knife. And the first thing I thought of was an axe. I'm sorry. What else would be a one? So I jokingly said to Carlos, a steak knife is a one-sided. Isn't that what was in the living room? What else would be one? Is a machete considered one-sided? Machete, axe, steak knife. They only said bladed weapon, Twiz. They just said bladed weapon. Yep. That was interesting. All right. So that was the hair. Oh, I'm still looking for the photos. Let me go back through these photos. I don't think I picked the right batch, though. I think I got to go to the other batch. It's probably 2. Is it batch 2? Yeah. Let me see. 3, 4, 2. Oh, the other thing I wanted to look for was the bracelet. The bracelet, yeah, here's a couple things that Turvey talked about last night that I was like, oh my God. So I feel like we might have seen the bracelet in those photos on the desk, but the fact that I don't even think they know where it's at now. Like it's not in evidence. Like what? What? And who's missing a bracelet? I mean, would you have shown the bracelet to Dylan and Bethany? Kim, get a grip on these two. What is it, Twiz and Kane? I can't control them, Glenn. I can't control them. Oh my God. Just call him plastic pants, Glenn. Just call him plastic pants. Sorry, Kane. I couldn't help it. What was I saying? See, you two, you're distracting me. Oh, the bracelet. Wouldn't you have brought the bracelet into the interview with Dylan and Bethany and said, whose is this? Whose is this? Hi, Wade Bird. And again, I don't know. Okay, well, let me know when you do know. Let me know when you know, and we'll just sit here. I'll be back. An hour later, hey, did you think of whose bracelet that is yet? No, I don't know. Okay, let me know when you do know. Leave the room. An hour later, come back. Hey, do you know whose bracelet that is yet? You see how this goes, you guys? I want to be a detective now. The other thing that was crazy that Brent Turvey said was that there was blood on a crock in the laundry room. And I know these were not new things. Like, I feel like I've heard people talk about these pieces of evidence, but especially with the crock, a crock shoe. At first, when he said crock, I'm like, what is he talking about? Like a crock shoe. Oh, you didn't hear about the bracelet? Okay, I'll come back to the shoe in a minute. So let's look for it. So apparently there was a broken bracelet with blood on it found in the spare bedroom, you guys. So let me see if I got these photos to open. Not yet. And then the crock. Okay, so we'll spend some time. We'll spend some time on the bracelet and the crock. And what I flipped out about with the crock was that he said it was in Xana's bathroom, and it had a little bit of blood on it. And then the very next thing he said was the washer. He goes, you know, the washer and dryer in that room, right? Like, I'm going to bring in a bunch of dripping bloody clothes, or I'm going to bring in some bloody clothes. I'm going to wash them in the washing machine, and a little bit of blood got on the crock. Yes, there are white crocks, Mandy. I think I do one, Canlian. I am looking. You know, there's like 4 batches of photos. And my notebook that I do have a list of like the numbers of the photos, but I don't have it with me. And for some reason, I feel like it's not this batch. This is Brian's. This is Brian's batch. Okay, so what is this? I don't even know what this is. Why do I have this? Oh, these must be the emails? All right, I'll leave that open, but I don't know. Okay. All right, I'm looking for the spare bedroom photos. Oh, this looks interesting. What's this? Wait a minute. Can you guys see this? Here. Sometimes we find things when we just are randomly scrolling. So I'm looking at this house. Do you see above the bike? Let's look above the bike. What's above the bike? Anything here? That's too big. It's not a camera. Lucy, don't be a bummer, okay? What is this, Lucy? What is it? What is this? What is this thing? What is that? It's not a tumor. It's not a tumor. What is it? It's a bird box. It's a doorbell. It's too high to be a doorbell. That's not where you put a doorbell. What is it? If MPD doesn't have it, it doesn't matter. Somebody has it, Twiz. Somebody has it. All right. I won't spend my time on this. I just saw it. All right. These are the outside photos. Let's get to the inside. There's the bathroom again. Oh, wait, we wanted to see the spare bedroom. Spare bedroom. Why do I feel like these are the same photos? Did they? I don't think they took any photos of the spare bedroom in this batch, did they? Nope, just the bathroom. Oh my god. Okay, that's Brian's. And this is batch. So batch 2 is Brian's photos. Why did I think he was batch 4? Give me a second, you guys. I'm getting to it. I'm getting to it. Oh my God, you're kidding me. I'm here. I'm trying to get my computer to open this. There we go. All right. So while I am waiting for that, let's see what else I had on here. He's talking about the barcodes, the court document. So let's go back to talking about the hair. Okay. So when Turvey was talking about, and I was saying, like, you know, what a great find it was to go into the evidence locker and to find that evidence because it was labeled as debris. And he made sure, Turvey made sure to acknowledge that, yes, it was important to find crime scene evidence that's probative. I feel it's probative, like it will tell you something about the crime because it was found in the victim's hand. And not only did they not test it, but they did not identify it as hair, which looks extremely misleading. And he said problematic, right? It looks like you're trying to hide it on purpose. Like, how many things in this case does it look like they did that, right? I mean, it's crazy. So, yes, it's great that they have, like, these kids, good for these kids. Ethan had hair. The girls upstairs had hair in their bed. Like, you want that stuff in a crime to identify the perpetrators, right? I mean, this is really disgusting, and I hate to like share this, but I heard it one time. A girl was like, she was like college age, young adult, and her dad was a police detective, and they were talking about abductions and stuff. And she said her dad had told her, like, if you ever were abducted, to like ingest as many things as you can. Because if you're never, like, if you can't be rescued, at least it would lead them to fibers and identifying things like that. And I always used to tell Carlos that, like, I'm just going to start eating stuff. But those kids, you know, good for them to grab that evidence. All right, let's look at this part. Oh, I'm still waiting for my photos to upload, you guys, or to open in this one app. So we're still going to look for the bracelet, and we're still going to look for the croc. And it better be in this batch of photos. It doesn't help because sometimes they put the photos out of order. And I'm going to go to, while I'm waiting for those photos, let's go to the cleanup. I don't think I played this part yet, did I? An hour and 19 minutes. Come on, what are you doing? Can you see it spinning? It's spinning. There it goes. It keeps restarting and spinning. What's going on? What's going on? I'll refresh it. Let me know in the chat what you thought.
We're the same way with family law. You get a little jaded, unfortunately.
It's probably too many people sharing this video at the same time. That's funny. There we go. Right here.
So she sort of took on the role of advocate, and that's my biggest problem. And she knows better. She knows better.
And I know that one of your conclusions, at least as it came out in Dr. Sutton's report and elsewhere, was that this crime was committed by at least two people, or certainly not committed by one person. Why do you come to that conclusion?
Well, this is not, again, this is all public. This is not me disclosing anything that wasn't already there. One, you have the amount of time that this would have taken, the amount of cleanup that was involved, and then also the involvement of the lower floors and evidence being moved around that has blood on it on the first floor and the second floor, as well as multiple weapons being used, at least 2 knives and at least 1 blunt force object, that none of which were recovered or found. And then multiple methods of killing, even on one victim, where you have blunt force trauma, strangulation, and then multiple knife wounds. So, and contemporaneous with the other victim being killed right next to her. And the ability to control people like that is very difficult. So those things led to the conclusion that at least 2 people were involved. You don't see that where just one person.
That's one of the points that I thought a lot of us, like, that to me is just logical thinking. I mean, he's an expert. He got to see the evidence to help determine that. But just a lot of us thought that, like, how can you kill 2 people with a bladed weapon, hand-to-hand combat, control 2 people at one time? You know, can you do it? I don't know, like 2 against 1. It's recently reported the WSU knife attack was a shorter black male, and Brent Kopaka roommate was a short black male. Kaylee reported seeing a black male and white male following her at Winco. Oh, hi, COAO Kane. I don't even know if I know what the WSU knife attack is. I'll have to look that up. That's a good question. Why is it called a K-bar? I feel like I knew that answer. I feel like if I hear the explanation, I'm going to say, oh, I knew that. Oh, Demetrius. All right. Lucy just posted. I want to click on that link, but I can't. So let me, there's some information from Sarah D. Irish, always bringing us the docs. It's going to be frustrating information, but information. Do I have the right? Do I have to put Idaho 4? Oh, let me just copy that link. Oh my goodness. I can copy it from here. Something's going on with my computer. I hope I don't crash. What's going on? Everything's freezing. Am I still here? Can you guys still hear me? Everything on my computer is like being weird. There we go. I wanted to click on that link, Lucy. Let me see. Let me find it. Where'd it go? Lucy, can you post it again so I can copy it and paste it into a new browser? I'm sorry. Oh, there it is. I think. You're the best, girl. You're the best. Look how fast that was. Okay, so this is 33 minutes ago. Sarah D. Irish, the city of Moscow recently received a letter from the FBI stating that FBI generated investigative materials shared with Moscow police remain FBI property and are not authorized for public distribution outside of participating agencies. And I gotta make this bigger. Let me see. I can't make it bigger. There's got to be a way. There's got to be a way. There we go. Here we go. Okay, this is from the U.S. Department of Justice, Federal Bureau of Investigation, Salt Lake City Field Office. And this is to Mia Batista, City Attorney, City of Moscow, regarding FBI records in the state of Idaho versus Brian C. Koberger. Dear Ms. Batista, records generated by the FBI were provided to Moscow Police Department for purposes of assisting in the investigation and prosecution in state of Idaho versus Brian C. Koberger. It has come to the FBI's attention the city of Moscow is maintaining possession of these records. As indicated on a number of these records, documents generated by the FBI are property of the FBI, loaned to Moscow Police Department, and are not to be distributed outside your respective agencies. Please return these documents at the conclusion of the current prosecution or any related investigation to the extent allowed by state law or ordered. Any third-party requests for FBI records can be requested through both the Freedom of Information Act and the Privacy Act. An overview and instructions are there. So you just can't get those from MPD. You have to get them. You have to try to get them from the FBI, and that is from Victoria Marie Vaughn. What do you guys think about that? What is going on with this case? What is going on with this case? What's the FBI doing? They're turning things over as tips. They don't want anything to be shared. Just use it as a tip. You think now the FBI is pissed? The FBI knows what they did. They know what Moscow did, or the FBI also did. Because I started wondering about that, because I'm like, if Chris Whitcomb is former FBI, he's not going to want to snitch on his colleagues, right? Like, he's not going to come out and call them out. Why is the FBI so... I don't know. It certainly looks like they're the problem, because they're using all of these backdoor ways of doing things and then not being. Don't say we have a transparent government. I'll tell you that. They can do whatever, like they can try to do whatever they want, but we're like, I don't know. We're on to them. Can someone call Alan Jackson? Why would the FBI plan this and plan the problems? Wow. Who's responsible for the chain of custody, the FBI or Moscow? Moscow, they were in charge of the... They're in charge of the investigation, but they used the Idaho State Police to collect forensics, right? To do their forensic investigation, but then Idaho State Police turns it over to Moscow. Nobody stops the FBI from doing anything. I don't know. Nobody's above the law. We need to... Oh, all right. So trigger warning. We're going to look at some of the... I wanted to look because Brent Turvey said where the sheath was located. Or no, I apologize. Here we go. Where the sheath was. Here we go. Right here. On the bed right here. Carlos and I had a discussion about this yesterday. Turvey is saying that under the sheath, and you can see all these little specks, they're tiny, but there is, and he called it like a star pattern, right? And clearly this must be, I don't know what's blocked out here. I don't think the victims are still in the bed at this point. Do you? I don't think so. So he's saying there's blood under the sheath. None of that blood got onto the sheath, so it was dried before the sheath got put on it. Or vice versa. If the blood was wet, it would have made like a streak mark on the sheath. That's logical sense to me. That makes sense. So that is why he's saying there's evidence that it was placed. And you can see up here, am I sharing this? I hope. I probably wasn't even sharing it. Sorry. Nope. Add to stage. Sorry, you guys. If you go straight to the left from the number 14, there's some larger red drops. I mean, those could be in other places around here. What's this thing? What's that brown thing? It looks like giraffe print. Well, yes, I know, but he's also adding to it. So yes, it's placed because they said they found it on the floor, but further evidence would show it would be placed on the bed at a later time because blood didn't transfer onto it and it did not disturb the blood under it. So like those two reasons, right? All right, let me see if I can find the bracelet in this batch. Here is the other issue that he talked about was the white claw. Let me move this. Oh, yeah. Oh, this is good. Speaking of chain of custody, so all these boxes that were labeled, I know Dago and I looked at them a long time ago and they had like a huge table full of these boxes, and I would bet money Brent Turvey would have continued looking at the chain of custody for other, like the swab boxes that we see here, because we were thinking we read somewhere or we saw something where they sat in the house overnight or something, or not even overnight. Like they were in the house for a long time. So what does that do for chain of custody, right? It's crazy. It's crazy. Brent Turvey has testified at over 70 trials. Yeah. Yeah. And he said he does not quadruple. He says he does, how did he call it? Multiple homicides? Like where there's multiple victims, multiple mass homicides, he said. Like that's what he does. Like that. And I'm going to end with this, and then I'll share some more tomorrow. And tomorrow I will find the photos of the bracelet. I'll find the crock and get all that stuff lined up better. I apologize. I was kind of all over the place today. There is something going on with my schedule, so I wasn't able to plan things out like I normally do, but I still wanted to come on here and talk about this and share with you guys. But yeah, I'll make sure I find the crock, the bracelet. Lucy, I'm going to go back and look at all these links you're posting in here. I always do. Here, I always apologize when can, Leanne. I was raised with guilt. Anybody else have a Catholic parent growing up? That's funny. You made the song. Is it posted, Skull? Let me look. Drop the link, and I'll play it on the way out. Yeah, so I will come back with that tomorrow. Yes, ma'am. The holly berry. Oh, the Suno. Oh, let me see if I can't do that. If you get it on your channel or if you share it with me in Discord, Skull, I'll use it tomorrow. Okay, I promise. So we're gonna play Who Moved the Sheath? How did you word it? Who moved the sheath? That's awesome. Yeah, Turvey. I had a good closing statement and I forgot what I wanted to. Oh, I know what it was. He was talking about the appeals. So we'll end with this. And he said he would not be surprised. And he said he expects, I think is the way he worded it, that he expects to get a call about testifying for an appeal in this case. So there's been lots of rumors on these YouTube streets about something happening. We've got a former FBI guy writing a book, and I was thinking about that. Brian took the plea deal less than a year ago, right? It was last July 2nd. They wrote that book in like fast, right? Probably to get it out, right? Because Brian has this September deadline. So you got the book out. We got Brent Turvey speaking out. Hopefully there's going to be more people. Who picked the sheath up? I wonder what the sound's going to be, because we can't do woof, you know, for the dogs, right? You know, Critical Minds Network, I never worried about an appellate attorney because, excuse me, because Alyssa Masseth is an appellate attorney. Brian already had one. She's an appellate attorney. But now I'm like, would you use her? No, I want to get as far away from this current team, if I was Brian, as I could. She didn't release the experts is because she's expecting to use them in appeal. I think he said, I think they are released. I thought I just read that somewhere. Like, they are released. Case is over. And they would have to hire them again, right? I think. I don't know. That's a good thing for me to go look up, Twiz. Thank you. I would love to know your thoughts on Ann Taylor, Twiz. What do you think? I know. I got to get off because day goes on. He's still under contract. That's weird. That's weird. Yeah, and I guess they were kind of talking about that a little. Well, I don't know if they talked about his contract. The attorneys are fine. Okay. I guess, Twiz, I don't know if you were in here earlier, but like I was talking about the whole like plea process. Like, I get it. So yeah, maybe I just need to take it at face value, is like, Anne knows that's the game. She got the death penalty off the table. The case is a shit show. The judge wouldn't let her do anything. So let's try to, you know, do the next move, I guess. Right? Yeah, but Turvey said if he's still under contract, then hello. Yeah, he's gonna, he should say, I wouldn't be surprised to get called if there's another move, right? I understand it's 100% Brian's choice, but Brian can only make choices based on what people tell him. So that's why I'm side-eyeing that. And I also know how they treat those people. I know how Brian's probably getting treated. Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you for hanging out with me today. Please go over to the Custody Queens. If you haven't watched that yet, make sure if you did watch it, you hit their like button for them. Also, who else was I talking about? Oh, you guys told me about Jules. I'm going to go see what she had to say about the Coburgers. And big shout out to the Custody Queens for doing that interview last night. We appreciate them. And day goes on right now. So let's all go over there and go in his chat and just put like a whole bunch of peeps. That would be funny. Let's go over to Dago's and put a whole bunch of peeps. It was good to see you, Twiz. Good to see everybody. Have a great rest of your day, and I will see you back for the next couple days. I think I got to go an hour late at like 12:30. Sorry, I just got to do that for the next couple days. It'll be 12:30 Eastern time. So I'll see you guys then. Bye.
Thanks for watching, hope you felt the spark. Please hit that like before it gets dark. Subscribe, it's free and keeps us going strong. You're part of the crew now, right where you belong. Join us next time, same truth, same fire. We bring the heat and never tire. We're typically unique and proud to be a husband and wife in podcast harmony. Practically unique, yeah, that's you and me. Don't forget to like and hit subscribe, it's free. Come back again, we'll be right here with truth and laughs and zero fear. We don't always agree, but that's the show. One love, two minds, letting it flow. We dig deep with crack jokes, we call it like we see. If that's your vibe, you belong here with me. We don't always agree, but that's the show. One love, two minds, letting it flow. We dig deep with crack jokes, we call it like we see. If that's your vibe, you belong here with me. We don't always agree, but you felt the spark. Please hit that like before it gets dark. We dig deep with crack jokes, we call it like we see. If that's your vibe, you belong here with me. Thanks for watching, hope you felt the spark. Please hit that like before it gets dark. Please hit that like before it gets dark. It's free, it keeps us going strong. You're part of the crew, now right where you belong. Join us next time, same truth, same fire. We bring the heat and never tire. We're typically unique and proud to be a husband and wife and proud to be a husband and a wife in podcast harmony. Yeah, that's you and me, that's you and me. Don't forget to like, hit subscribe, it's free. Come back again, we'll be right here with truth and laughs and zero fear.